Good day, everyone. To the organizers, my fellow researchers, and to the participants of this international research conference, a pleasant day to each one of us. So we will be presenting our research entitled Factors Influencing the Implementation of Community-Based Fire Prevention Program in the Province of Antique. So a short background about the researcher. I am Dr. Jhetro Royce E. Espartero. I finished my Doctor of Philosophy in Criminal Justice with specialization in criminology from the University of the Cordilleras, Baguio City. And together with me is Dr. Robino D. Cawi, the College Dean of the same institution. So we will be presenting our research paper, and for the introduction, short background of our topic, fire is a significant global disaster that causes the displacement of people and the destruction of properties, according to Kihila 2017. Various authors identified that fire-related deaths and injuries are a significant problem globally, ranking as the third most common cause of unintentional harm in residential settings. With this, here in the Philippines, the Bureau of Fire Protection is being entrusted with the mandate of preventing and suppressing all forms of destructive fires. The Oplan Ligtas na Pamayanan of the Bureau of Fire Protection serves as the organization's flagship program in promoting fire prevention at the grassroots level. This program is the response of the Bureau of Fire Protection to the ever-growing demand for a more adaptive, comprehensive, and immersive fire protection program for the communities. This program targets the most basic issues or the root of the problem why there are uncontrolled and ever-increasing fire incidents in residential areas, and also bridges the gap by providing holistic and scientific solutions. Although there are some reports indicating the connection of this community-based fire prevention program implementation and reduction of fire incidents, still, fire hazards in residential areas continues to pose a serious threat to public safety. Thus, the study aims to comprehensively evaluate the factors influencing the implementation of this Oplan Ligtas na Pamayanan as a community-based fire prevention program in the province of Antique. For the statement of the problem, what are the factors influencing the implementation of the community-based fire prevention program? And in order to accomplish and answer this research question, the study utilized a case study to provide a comprehensive understanding of the factors influencing the implementation of this community-based fire prevention program. In terms of the population and locale of the study, 9 personnel from the Bureau of Fire Protection in the province of Antique, Philippines, serve as the key informants in this study. In identifying who will be the participants or key informants in this study, the inclusion criteria was set by the researchers, which are the following. First, that fire personnel must have served as a primary facilitator and coordinator of the OLP in the barangays within their area of responsibility for at least a year. And aside from that, that fire personnel must also have rendered necessary training and assistance to the local councils in the implementation of the component activities of the Oplan Ligtas na Pamayanan. In order to gather the data gathering tool used is a semi-structured interview guide using an open-ended question wherein this interview guide was prepared following the objectives of the study, and aside from that, experts were invited to review the set of interview questions prior to the actual data collection. In the data gathering procedure, permission to conduct the study was first secured from the Office of the Dean of the College of Criminal Justice Education in the University of the Cordilleras. After that, necessary letter of permission was secured before the actual data collection. Aside from that, informed consent from the participants was also secured prior to the conduct of the interview, and after the data was gathered and was analyzed, a follow-up interview was conducted to provide the key informants a chance to consider the information that was first collected and examined. So to treat the gathered data, the data was categorized into themes to help establish the context and extract meaning from individuals' experiences, perspectives, and opinions. Thus, thematic analysis was utilized. The various themes were thoroughly examined and carefully recorded based on the accounts provided by the key informants. So the results of the study revealed three major themes that emerge in the study. So in terms of the financial aspect, one factor that influenced the program implementation is the budget constraints. Aside from that, in terms of manpower aspect, the findings of the study revealed that there is a limited manpower in order to implement the various activities of the said program. And aside from that, in terms of the community participation, this is also another factor that could influence the implementation of the program. So we will proceed on the first major theme that emerged in the study, the budget constraints. So based on the findings of the study, this budget constraints impedes the program's full implementation, which is evident on the lack of material resources, leading to the utilization of personal funds among key implementers, particularly the municipal fire marshals. And aside from that, they also rely on the initiatives of the barangay officials. Second emerging theme is the limited manpower. So in terms of the manpower aspect, this challenge requires key implementers to assume multiple roles, thus resulting in the ineffective program implementation and exhaustion among these key implementers. And finally, in terms of community participation, it was found out that another factor influencing the implementation of the program is the community participation itself, which relies on the active involvement and support of the local leaders. It was found out that if the local leaders or the barangay officials within that specific area is cooperative, it has also something to do with the participation of the community, which is under their area of jurisdiction. Likewise, if the barangay officials or the local leaders are also not cooperative, it also resonates with the degree or extent of the participation of the residents within their locality. So to conclude, based on the findings of the study, there are many challenges that hindered the full implementation of the OLP as community-based fire prevention program in terms of financial aspect, manpower aspect, and community aspect. These are all factors that has an influence in the implementation of the program. However, despite those challenges, the OLP program and all its component activities were successfully carried out with the initiatives and support from the key players. As what I have mentioned earlier on the findings, for example, in terms of budget constraints, that is another factor, one factor that emerged that influenced the program implementation. Despite the budget constraints, still the program was able to be implemented and was able to carried out by the key implementers because of the support and initiatives of the barangay officials. Aside from that, also key implementers tend to utilize their personal money just to have this program carried out, implemented. So based on the conclusions and findings, the following recommendations are being suggested. First, it is suggested to improve the resource management, both in the financial and manpower aspects, to address the gaps that influence the OLP implementation. Aside from that, the Bureau of Fire Protection as the leading implementer may also sustain its efforts for the continuous success of this program. Aside from that, further, they may revisit from time to time the component activities of the OLP just to ensure its relevance and effectiveness, or either strengthen the OLP program if necessary. Aside from that, the BFP, through its civic society groups, may also organize a community fire brigade and capacitate them to help in fire prevention and suppression efforts. Due to the lack or limited manpower of the Bureau of Fire Protection, this could augment the need for manpower by capacitating those civic society groups in order to combat the hazards of fire. And aside from that, this community fire auxiliary group within the barangay who have been benefited and trained may be tapped by the Bureau of Fire Protection to help in the capacity building of other barangays within the province of Antique. Since this program is being implemented in a scheduled basis, not all barangays have been covered. So those that have already been undergone training under this program could be tapped by the Bureau of Fire Protection to augment again the limited manpower of the organization to capacitate other barangays which was not been undergone into training under this community-based fire prevention program. So these are some of the references that was cited in this presentation. And before I end this presentation, I would like to acknowledge the following: the Commission on Higher Education for the scholarship grant that was given to the researchers in order to carry out this study to the University of the Cordilleras, which is the delivering institution. Aside from that, for the Bureau of Fire Protection in the province of Antique, who granted permission in order to conduct the study, and to the voluntary participation of the personnel coming from the San Jose Municipal Fire Station. So these are the groups or individuals who has a significant contribution to the study. So before I end my research presentation, I would like to leave this reminder: fire safety is a shared responsibility. This is not only a responsibility of the fire department or the Bureau of Fire Protection, but this is a shared responsibility of all members within our society. So thank you for listening, and that's it for our research presentation. Have a great day, everyone.